Alright, welcome to the Gunter City Council meeting. It is Thursday, May 7th. It is 6:01 p.m. We're in the Public Safety Building at 105 North 4th Street in Gunter. All notices were properly posted. We do have a quorum with everyone in attendance, and we will open up with our invocation and our pledge of allegiance.
Bow with me, please. Father God in heaven, we're thankful for the blessings of life that you give us. We're thankful for this day. We're thankful for the opportunity we have to serve. Father, I pray that you bless our community here in Gunter, that you will give us a spirit of unity, a spirit that will help us thrive and look to the future, to good things. We realize that we have a lot of opportunities before us, and your hands provide those things for us, Father. We pray that you continue to give us those things. Father, I pray that we don't grow weary in doing good. In due season, we will reap, and we understand that. We pray that you'll continue to bless us with the wisdom and knowledge we need. I pray for the councilman. I pray for the mayor. I pray for our staff here. I pray for the community, that you bless each family with a special blessing. Forgive us now when we fail you. And through your son's holy name I pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We're going to move to executive session under 551.071, consultation with our city attorney regarding employment contract negotiations, and under the same for our two lawsuits, well, one lawsuit, CD 26-1060, and then another potential legal issue regarding the drainage project, and we will move to executive session. See you soon. Fine, we're going to do citizen comments, and it's 6:04. We're not going to executive session. That way it's on her recording. So we're going to open up citizen comments, and I have Mr. Michael Gallagher up first. You'll make your way to the podium, name and address for the record, and
Michael Gallagher, 1621 Karsten Ridge. I'm going to briefly go back to what I said last week, month, or whatever, because 3 of you were missing. I want to thank the council and the mayor for actually being responsible. Without tax money, we actually have reserve money so we can get a cheaper interest rate. If need be, we take a loan. Thank you for doing that for the town. Okay, enough of that. The election location, I believe it's one-sided, and it should have posted the numbers by 9 a.m. on election day, which they did not until they were forced to do, which leads me to believe that they're bending one way. When my wife and I went to vote, all Doris said to one of the ladies was, why isn't the vote here sign down by Preston Road? So then, I'm sorry, I'm going to use the word, that hag said to this hag, and that hag said to my wife that it's windy and we didn't want to go down there. Well, my next door neighbor did not know where to go vote. They drove past the church, and it wasn't until they turned around did they notice the sign. So I believe it's biased having it at the church, for one, because the old council members have their claws into that church. I'm hoping next time there's an election, we can go somewhere else that I feel safe. Okay. William, I want you to prove me wrong, and please prove me wrong, and I will take this podium and apologize to you. I know there's rift between you and you and you and whatever. I could care less. That's the wrong word, but anyway, that's not the important thing here. When I voted for you, you wanted to get rid of the city manager. And now you completely flip-flopped, and this is only my own thoughts. You got Connie Banks, Cheryl, and who's the other person I wanted to name? I'll come up with it in a minute. Don't let them make you a puppet. Please be you and do what's right for the city. And I will apologize to you when you prove to me that you do right by the city. The city manager's BS. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm praying for fast growth. I didn't want the city to grow fast. I want it to grow fast now so we can take some responsibility or no, control away from the city manager. The city manager can do whatever they want, no matter what you say. They can just do what they want. You would have to fire them, and now the taxpayer has to pay these people money. I cannot believe we're going back to city manager.
I'm so sorry. Mr. Mark Merrill, you're up next.
Mark Merrill, 71 Mallard Court, here in Gunter. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody up here who's serving. This body is still the elected body of the people, and I'm going to ask that you do the work of the people tonight. You know, the city manager issue had an election, but that issue's been on the agenda for over a year and a half now. You know, it's been kicked down the road and tabled because somebody didn't like the way something was written, or they didn't like the number of applicants, or whatever. You know, you've got contracts on the agenda, you've got opportunity to keep valuable people who've been embedded in this community for quite a while. Deidre was with the fire department when I was mayor 13 years ago. We didn't see eye to eye, did we? Do we see eye to eye today?
Yes, we did.
And what changed? You came more in the direction of where I was coming from, and I came more in the direction of where you were coming from. You didn't see what I was going through when I was mayor, but I also didn't see what you were going through at the time. Okay?
And we had a conversation.
And we've had a conversation since then. And, you know, I think that what you want for the city of Gunter and what I want for the city of Gunter are pretty aligned. I really do. I keep hearing people say the city's not doing what it's supposed to do for the citizens. 2 exemplary rated budget reviews. As far as I'm aware, that didn't happen under my watch. It didn't happen under anybody else's watch after me until this mayor was elected. Fiscal responsibility, doing things based on principle and not personalities, and taking action and doing the work of the people is what you were elected to do. Please do the job. Do it today. Quit kicking the can down the road. Quit waiting until you feel that you can get people on your side to do it your way when the majority wants it done, regardless of what you want. The town wants the job to be done. So please just do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I close citizen comments, one last call. Is there anyone who would like to speak before we close it for the night? Okay, I see none, so we will.
Before we go into
Close.
executive session, I'd like to ask a question. We have this down as negotiate, executive session with the attorney, but the description is contract negotiations. What legal questions are we going to be getting advice from on the attorney?
We're probably not. We're probably going to come right back out here. We've done this 4 times. There's no reason to keep talking about it.
So.
Unless it's a personnel issue and there's a legal question, we're not going to talk about it. We bring it right back out.
Because all the policy questions need to be asked out here.
They will be.
Just want to make sure we know what the policy questions are.
Okay, so we're going to move to
proposed contracts, discussing the merits of the contracts, financial
Okay, so I'm sorry, Jim, I'm not listening to speak right now, William. I'm gonna move to executive session, and we are operating under advice from our city attorney, under the three things that I mentioned earlier, and that is the lawsuit, potential legal, and potentially a specific personnel contract legal issue with respect to a specific personnel. And we are adjourning at 6:12, moving to executive session. Okay, we are reconvening to open session at 7:11. We'll move on to item number 3, notice of possible taking action from executive session items.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the mayor to move forward with the final negotiation and sign of the employment contracts for yearly renewals beginning on 9/1/2027, with the 20-week severance clause as allowed by law for the city administrators, administrative coordinator, chief of police, director of development, and director of parks and streets.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have Jerry for the first to approve, allow the execution of contracts, and Alan for the second. So with that, it's open for discussion. Or we can take a vote.
Did you say 20 weeks?
20 weeks, yeah, because that's what's allowed by law. And the reason I'm suggesting that is going back and looking at TML and what TML's recommendation is, and what a potential lawsuit would cost just to have one filed, is already pushing us close to that dollar amount.
Yeah, I thought we
exceeds
agreed
that.
towards the 6 weeks last time we even talked about this, and the 20 weeks was way out of it.
Agreed, we did discuss that.
Yeah. Where we were more happier to talk about it if it was not 20 weeks, but more 6 weeks.
And then at the renegotiation time, if the
Every
individual
year.
validated, then we could increase it at that point.
Yeah, it was like an every year contract, severance contract, not employment contract. But I guess you guys are calling it.
Well, I was thinking that, so my thought is that 6 weeks, there's going to be people are going to just, they're going to walk in, they're going to threaten a lawsuit because 6 weeks is not going to mean anything to them. That's why, just looking back at it, 20 weeks is what the law is allowing, and 20 weeks is actually pretty standard practice now, so.
Why do we think someone's going to threaten a lawsuit?
Well,
Towns all over the county don't have contracts, so they're not getting threatened with lawsuits. How is this a problem? We're solving a problem that doesn't exist. And I'll say something else. We have a new councilman coming on in 2 weeks, and we're making a decision with a council that won't be the same group of people. We just need to table this until there's
we're talking a
I
different.
disagree. We're gonna go next summer.
Let him finish talking.
we just need to table this until the council that's gonna be on for the next year is here, and not make a tail end decision. We've talked about this before. I've been consistent about this. We don't really have any business reaching into the future and telling future councils what to do. Now we're only 2 weeks away from a future council, and we're already doing
Are you done?
it. I'm done.
Well, in rebuttal to your statement is that we have been kicking the can. Unfortunately, we've all decided that we wanted to do more research. Personally, I did as well. I wanted to look more into this. I wanted to make an educated decision when I make my decision. But bringing up the fact that a new council member coming on board and we're making decisions for future councils, this has been a decision on our plate for over 4 months. So I'd say we're a lame duck council if we don't make action on it now. Because we need to make action because we've been kicking this can.
But Pat, we don't need to make an action.
Actually, I do believe we do need to make an action because I don't like to be an individual who doesn't get things done. We've been thinking about this for 4 months, so it's time to make a decision. Just
Well,
because we were waiting on an election, I mean,
We've been getting the information for the last 4 months of
Yeah.
what we were doing. We started at 20 weeks, now it's down to 6 weeks. Then there's
oh yeah, that was
provisions and
totally,
other stuff
totally not
added
what we
to it.
discussed, absolutely.
So-
I totally agree with you.
You know,
20
it's not
weeks.
just the severance package, it's now added extra stuff into it.
Yeah, but I think that we as a city need to move forward with our contracts because we owe it to our constituents to make sure that they're getting what they asked for. I've heard from multiple individuals, and I'm sure you've heard from multiple individuals that we shouldn't have contracts. But to me, I want my staff to have the utmost confidence to make decisions without the threat of, well, if I do it this way, I'm gonna lose my job.
The change of a council alone.
Or just in general, I went,
Well, if they do their job wrong and they lose their job, they don't get a severance
correct,
package.
absolutely.
True.
Yeah,
It's still higher
absolutely.
costs.
That's that. This is more for if a new council comes in and just doesn't like the way someone's operating, and they can talk the rest of us into.
Well,
swing.
I want us
That's what it seems
let's remove the council part. I want my staff to have a contract so that one, I can hold them accountable other than an opinion.
Mhm.
I don't want an opinion driving direction. I want per this piece of paper, you are supposed to do this. Yes, you are not doing this, so goodbye. Whereas if the other aspect of it, hey, we need to sever this relationship right now because you're not holding it. Where also the staff member could say, hey, per this contract, you're supposed to be doing this for me. I haven't been getting this. So that they can hold us accountable.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair working relationship.
Well, Nessa, we've had a great relationship with Eric, Adam, Danny, all of the people that are in the list of doing it, where
Yeah.
I have no problem with any of them.
Absolutely.
They've been doing
It's
great.
a
And they've been doing great before.
Yep.
Even I got here.
It's a commitment back and forth. I mean, I've heard Eric say that he was willing to move here, but he wanted to have a reason to stay here by having a contract, giving him the assurance that if he's gonna pick up his entire family and be here 5 days a week and be involved in this entire community while we're trying to develop it in a correct way, we gotta have some skin in the game. He's got it. We gotta both agree that it's a mutual agreement.
And Ken, do you happen to have those numbers from TML that explained what the lawsuit, because I had it, I forgot to bring them.
I do actually. My conversation with TML, I review that as our risk pool that we have our insurance through. So if a municipal claim is filed, it goes through TML IRP. I emailed them and asked them a lot of questions along the statistics. How often does this happen? City our size? How many do you pay out? How many do you settle? Is it easy? Is it hard? All those things. So he picked up the phone and called me because he wouldn't put it in writing. He said that those are not statistics he would give me, but he would talk me through the questions I was asking. Municipal, there are 4 takeaways that I sent the council just to kind of give them something to think about. Municipal claims are common after termination, very, very common. Not in the corporate world, but in municipalities it is because of the political volatility, the fact that of 6 bosses for Detra, who has a contract, but
Can we
it can change.
move this along, please?
So it happens, it's very common. Litigation risk can exceed coverage, meaning we could max out, and then we have to put ante up. The average is $25,000 to $50,000, and that's city our size, we could additionally pay. Coverage does not eliminate financial exposure. So they said that $20,000 to $50,000 more, because they'll ask us to contribute, but it also includes back pay, front pay, and lost benefits. And then the biggest one for me was the non-for-cause termination carry contract risk, even without a contract. So if we don't have a clear strategy and a path out, and there wasn't a reason to terminate, and then they go file, even without a contract, that can be considered a breach of contract because they signed an employment agreement to do certain duties, and then if they didn't do anything wrong, and you didn't put them on the PIP, and you didn't give them opportunities, and they're gonna file, it's a breach of contract, and TML doesn't even cover that for us. So that would be 100% ours. That bothers me.
What was our history on contracts for Jeff Gibson, for instance?
We've always done it,
I mean,
prior
Rick
to
Chapin
managers
was-
on
was-
government.
I'm asking this, was Rick Chapin said it's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 20 weeks,
He had 6 months.
6 months? Okay. And so 20 weeks seems out of the bounds, and we were
You have to have
at
skin in the
6
game for
months.
the employee to actually sign the contract while I feel safe. Because they're gonna really have to do something. If I do a great job, they're gonna have to pay up if they just come in and get rid of me, which is fair.
6 months.
And it does protect the taxpayer as much as it does the employee. This isn't really about the staff as much as it is about us protecting the city. Because if we get a claim, we're gonna pay more higher premiums. And then if we get to ante up, that's even more. And then the taxpayer is perpetually paying more premiums year after year after year for one claim.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. This is risk management for the city. To have an agreement that if you want to terminate somebody for cause, great, we get to do it. But if we wanted to get rid of somebody for no cause, we still get to do it. We just have to put some skin in the game. So it should be a high enough barrier that a brand new council quorum comes in and doesn't want to go, I'm just going to get rid of him, and I don't care. We're just going to pay it.
Well, I reiterate, I made a motion to approve.
Okay.
In a second.
I call question. We've talked about it.
All right. Then we have a motion on the table, first with Jerry, a second with Alan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so that passes 3-2.
For the 20 weeks or the 6 weeks that we were talking about?
That was for the 20 weeks.
6 weeks.
You got that?
Okay.
That's the thing. Yeah, that was 6 weeks.
Yep.
The motion was 20, so y'all need to negotiate that. We tracked that vote because it wasn't an understanding.
Good thing I asked.
Good thing that you asked, brother.
The one
6
that's
weeks.
in there.
I think 6 weeks is a little low. Like I say, 6 weeks, if you take, let's just take somebody.
We went from 6 months to 6 weeks.
Well, the thing is that I don't want to look at past. I want to look at the future. I want to look at Gunter now.
I know.
Well,
I
then we
don't want to look at
we made
Pilot
that.
Point. I don't want to look at Tioga. I want to look at Gunter. We are ourselves. So we could
Because the
reference
last
TML all we want.
Sorry, Pat. The last conversation we had was 6 weeks, yearly reviews.
Yes.
Severance
Let
are
me-
adding, every year is adding a week.
No, every year is to
negotiate.
renew the severance to see if they're
Earn
doing a
your
good job or
20
whatnot,
weeks.
instead of having it be
Earn your
indefinite.
2-year, 20 weeks.
Yes.
And are we making that retroactive?
Sorry, provide retroactive.
In other words, employees who've already been here for a year are now getting this contract, their 6 becomes a 7. If they've been here for 3 years.
If they're already under contract, I'm not touching it.
Or does that contract start now? In other words, their severance is not retroactive for their employment.
The last we discussed it was, if they started now, it would be the standard, here you go,
Retroactive 6 weeks.
for
Yes.
1 year, 6 weeks. And then every year, they would have a review with us. And then if we felt that they were still doing their contract, then we would renew their contract and add another, whatever, week or like,
Do you
but
want
up to a maximum amount. That was the last I remember our conversation.
to amend to 6 weeks retroactive?
And then we also added cell phone allowance, car allowance, and
Which
something
has
else.
nothing to do with
Has nothing to do
protecting
with,
people.
yeah.
And I want to say this, everything that the mayor said was fear, uncertainty, and doubt. There
I got
are,
it straight from
there are-
TML, what am I
He's
explaining
talking
what
right now.
TML
He's
said to
talking
me, no,
right
he's
now.
accusing me,
No, he's talking right now.
and it's not true.
That's what we get to have.
everything was fear, uncertainty, and doubt. There are multiple cities in this county, and most of the cities in this county either have very. Pat, are you done?
Go ahead, by all means.
Most of the cities in this county either have no contracts or a very limited number of contracts, and they are not imploding. They are not being sued out of existence. This is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's a problem. It's a solution looking for a problem that doesn't exist. It's creeped from we're protecting the employees to we're protecting the taxpayers. How are we protecting the taxpayers? And then, well, they need to have perks like cell phone perks,
It's not
car
perks.
perks. It keeps moving. And I don't see how that protects the taxpayers. I don't see how it makes it better for the residents in this town to have people who have contracts and have to be paid to let them go. The county doesn't have any contracts, and the county's not imploding. They're managing to get by. Everyone's an at-will employee, and probably most of the people that live in this city are at-will employees, and their corporations are falling apart. It is not necessary to have contracts, and it's not a benefit to the residents of the city. So y'all amend it to whatever you want, and I will vote no when you're done.
Awesome.
Let me just say, if we take the highest salary that was under the contracts, that breaks down to about $3,200 a week. Okay, so at 6 weeks, you're talking about $19,000, just call it $20,000. That's 6 weeks. If the risk pool states that just filing a lawsuit itself is going to cost you potentially between $25 and $50, there's just a settle that way. $20,000 is not, for me, is it, if I was an employee, $20,000 is not going to keep me. I'm not going to sign a contract and I'm going to say, you know what, I'll just sue you. 20 weeks is not, or $20,000 is not going to cut it.
Okay.
You're saying, so that's why 6 weeks is not, in my opinion, is not good. So,
Okay.
come off that, you know, I mean,
So you take the severance or you don't?
Yeah, it's that
It's
simple. I mean, I had to
sensitive.
sign a severance package and mine sucked, but I still signed it to have a job and I did it. I mean, the dollar amount, yeah, everyone would love to have a $50,000, $60,000 severance package,
Or discretionary
you
spending.
know? And then if they fire me because they had to downsize, well, then I get my severance package. If they fired me because of whatever, well, that, I don't get my severance package if I wasn't doing my job. Yeah.
I have to see on this item,
What's on
and
the
I
table?
just noticed that, I'm so sorry. On this agenda item, one person did sign up to speak, and that was Mark Merrill. Are you still here? Okay, I'm so sorry.
You're okay.
We haven't finished.
I'm glad y'all had some of the
Almost
debate so I can
finished.
address some of it.
I'm sorry, so if you'll set his timer, and we'll take care of that.
Mark Merrill, 71 Mallard Court. Again, I'm gonna ask you to do the business of the city. And what I'll tell you is, when I was mayor, we had contracts for the employees. As far as I'm aware, every mayor had contracts for the employees, except for when we had a city manager form of government. You were elected, you are the body that's here to do the business of the city. This is an agenda item. I ask you to take action. If you don't want to vote yes, vote no, but take an action. And as for severance, you've got people who are coming here, helping you grow the city. You want it run the right way. You want the right people for the job. Give them an incentive to come here. Give them an incentive to stay here. Give them an incentive to do the job you're asking them to do without having to be micromanaged by a future council or a future city manager who may not have any skin in the game and probably won't live in this town. Just saying. I would tell you, 20 weeks, if I'm going to uproot my family and move here to do a job that is thankless for a bunch of people who do not have an interest in doing it for themselves, yeah, 20 weeks is nothing. Especially if I'm going to have to worry about being ousted from my job every time there's a wind change or a change of the governmental body. I'll tell you right now, I can't wait until we get to the new city manager form of government so I can go start a petition to go back to the strong mayor form of government. You know, the change that keeps occurring here is a change because the people sitting up there aren't doing their job and they don't feel that they can get their way, so we're going to change the rules. It's like the Democrats wanting to redistrict after Texas redistricts because they need to change the rules to win. How about you do what's in the best interest of the community? How about you do the best interest of the employees of the city that are here to serve the people? Instead of your petty picking at this or that, let's talk about the actual issue here. Is it that you don't want to pay severance to somebody that you want to get rid of? Or is it that you don't want to have them come here in the first place? I'll tell you right now, you know, it's great working at will. I own my own business. I work for myself. If I don't get up and go to work in the morning, I don't get paid. That's enough motivation for me to go do my job. You know? But I'll tell you, that's not the way it is out there in corporate America. I got paid severance when I got fired from my last job, and yeah, I got fired before I started my own business. They paid me a 1 year forward-looking commissions, 1 year salary, 1 year of medical and health benefits with matching 401k to make me go away because I had a contract. And I live in an at-will state, and I was employed by a company that was headquartered in an at-will state. So I ask you to do something, take action, and take care of the people that help you to take care of the town.
Thank you. I'd actually like to bring Cameron up to speak to this because we've had so many conversations about this for a very long time. And if you don't mind giving us perspective from an administrative perspective, as administrative coordinator, because we were talking about this before. I mean, it's been a year now, and from a staff side as well.
Absolutely. Do what?
We need to do 3 minutes.
That's up to y'all. I won't be 3 minutes. You're okay. I think the real components here is this is a pretty volatile environment, guys. Okay, so we've got an outstanding staff right now. They want to be committed to what's going on here, and they want to have the comfort and security of being here and being part of what we're doing. When you do 20 weeks, that really puts the math where y'all have some skin in the game. It's not easy to just say, poof, knock any one person out. I'll give you a great example. If you look at the numbers associated with me, you're talking about a $20,000 decision to say, I don't like Cameron, he's gone, okay, at the 20-week mark, okay? So my point in that for y'all is just I would tell you, staff would feel far more comfortable in that environment. And we are committed to y'all. We're doing our best to serve y'all in every way possible. The reality is, as long as we're all doing our job, none of this matters at all. None of these don't actually matter, right?
That's right.
It's only if something comes off the rails somewhere in the process within the people that are making the decisions, and they just decide they don't like somebody, that they have an accountability for that decision. The reality is our guys are doing great jobs. They're giving you what you're asking for. We serve at the pleasure of each and every one of y'all in every decision that we make, and our goal is to continue to do that in all ways possible. All that I think is an important component to whatever decision y'all make tonight is understanding where that math number is, that whoever the elected body is has an accountability, that it's not just a I don't like you moment, you're at will, you're gone. This is a commitment to show respect and dignity to the folks that are really, you're wanting to get upfront, honest feedback from, and that makes them max vulnerable. And so it's just a respect and dignity component.
So Cameron, are you
Yes, sir.
saying that all the other people that work out there in around this entire county, North Texas, that don't have contracts, people that hire that don't have any respect or dignity for them? Is that what you're saying? You're saying a contract is required to have respect and dignity?
No,
Because
sir.
there's thousands of people that work without contracts, so are they going around without respect and dignity?
Not at all, sir.
That's a false claim, Cameron.
So, Councilman
It doesn't
Stevens,
make
that's not my claim.
respect and dignity because you have a contract. Contract relationship is I come to work, I get paid for the work I do, I go home. I come back the next morning, they don't say go away, I have another job for that day. If I do work, I get paid. That's the relationship. But all they're asking for something different than that, and it keeps creeping. It gets more and more. First it was I need to be protected, then it's respect and dignity, then it's a cell phone allowance. Where does it end?
So here would be my comments globally about this concept that you just described. It is not required in order to have respect and dignity that a contract's in place.
But
I would
that's
tell
what
you,
said, Cameron.
I would
Let
tell
me
you,
finish.
I would tell you that this environment in Gunter, Texas is a volatile environment.
Yeah.
You're asking each and every one of your staff members at the director level that report to y'all as politicians to be vulnerable. And it's a pretty volatile environment here. And what I would tell you is if you look at some other North Texas communities who struggle with this, who have rapid turnover at the highest levels of their city management as a result of this volatility that exists similar to some other fast, high-paced growth communities, you're watching them go through really challenging staff situations because of the lack of continuity or confirmation of understanding of what that respect and dignity looks like. And it's easy, guys. When the folks are doing their jobs, none of this matters. And we're committed to doing the jobs that you're asking from us.
Has anyone lost their job?
Not yet, but there's been a lot of threats. You're looking at political
Excuse me,
volatility, right? Yeah, I can talk to you, William.
I don't want to talk to you.
I don't care if you want to talk to me. I'm the presiding officer. If I have something to say, I will, and you need to ask permission in the first place.
Has anyone
You've got
lost-
to be recognized first, but you're not going to talk to staff that way.
Has anyone lost their job, Kim?
I'm not sure I understand.
Has anyone gotten fired in the city of Gunter because of a council change?
Yes.
I don't know that I'm at liberty to answer that question, sir.
Well, do you know anyone?
There's a lot of things that took place prior to my time. I can't tell you what happened.
In your knowledge, for your time, do you know of anyone that's been fired?
No, not during my time.
Thank you.
I know of one that
Pass
was
the
almost
witness.
fired at least twice, I think 3
So
times.
my encouragement to y'all is exactly what just happened with Pass the Witness. That's what we're up against.
Yep.
We're just asking for some
Safety,
sympathy,
just
some
respect.
of what we're up against. So I appreciate y'all support and thank you.
Thank you, Cameron. I'm sorry to put you through that.
You put him on.
It's exactly,
You
the
put him on.
political volatility is exactly what you just showed them why we need contracts.
That is not true. That's completely.
It's absolutely true.
Cameron fired.
It's absolutely
No.
true.
So there
I
you go.
love Cameron. even though-
Okay, then show him with the contract so that he
No,
feels
that
safe
is
to
a
do
false
his job. It
choice. That is a
protects the
false
city.
choice that you're
It's
making.
not.
I'm talking to him.
It's not.
May I have the floor?
Absolutely, Jerry.
I'm calling the question back again. I still feel strongly that 20 weeks is where we need to be. It's only right for the staff that we have, because of the volatility that's here. It's been It's been already shown in past and current as to what volatility is going to be in this city. Okay, 20 weeks I think is where we need to be. Once we go through this, I'm going to explain something for why, or I can say it first. But
I'm fine with you saying it first. We're demonstrating why this exists.
I wanted to say it real simple. Okay, a situation that actually happened with us on Saturday. Okay, after this election came through. I actually met with William outside, ran into him outside of the voting place. And we had a very frank conversation. And I honestly was a little concerned for a couple of comments that were made, because he made it very clear that he thought this was personal. I never felt that our election process was going to be personal, never meant for it to be personal. He in fact said it was personal because I chose to censor him, so that automatically made it personal for me. He then went on to say
Is this on topic or off topic?
Yes, it is on topic. It is on topic.
The contract?
Protecting
Yes,
contracts.
protecting the contract.
Okay.
Because
He's tying it to contracts, so
she
I
very well
don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
He stated at that point, okay, that he lost respect for our police chief because if the police chief asked him for any more benefit or for any more police officers, he would not be able to give them in because he had enough police officers to at least sit back and investigate him, and had enough police officers to have them sit at City Hall. So he didn't need police officers there. He did not know what Adam's job was and felt like that Adam was not performing where he needed to be. He said that straight up to me. So I feel like he is already out for these three guys, okay? And I'm gonna stand by what I say. I'm gonna call the question. I say that I wanna move forward with contracts, authorizing the mayor to do it for 20 weeks of severance. I think it's the right thing to do for our staff. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, vote how you want.
Well, it's approved, we just gotta figure out exactly where we're at. Where are you?
If I may, from a procedural standpoint, you've already voted on the contracts at 20 weeks. If you want that reconsidered, then one of the members who voted on this approving has to make a motion to reconsider. That has to be seconded, majority vote, and it will be reconsidered. At that point, you could change the 20-week number, or you can do away with the whole thing. So,
But can I ask a question?
absolutely, yeah.
Thank you. But if he voted yes, but was not sure that the times have changed, does his vote still count? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Patrick, you were under the assumption that this was for 6 weeks.
You know what? I'm feeling generous. So let's make it 20.
I mean, the original motion was 20, so.
Then nobody on the side that approved it is moving to reconsider, so it can't be reconsidered. You would have to make a motion to rescind, and that would require a 2/3 vote.
And do we know who these, because it wasn't mentioned who these are all for?
I thought
He read them out.
He read it out.
It's the department.
Oh, I couldn't hear.
He read it out.
So
That
then
pass.
we voted then. We're
Yes.
good?
Yeah, I'm glad we had the second conversation.
Okay, so 3-2, that motion carries. Okay, where are we?
Number 4.
We are on number 4. Discuss, consider, and act upon resolution of the city of Gunter, Texas, accepting a petition to dissolve Government 66, that's the preserve now, improvement, the pit public improvement district. And then the following agenda item will be to recreate one. But Eric, do you want to come up and just explain real quick what we're doing here or why?
Yeah.
The property changed.
So there are a couple of things that changed on the previously approved PID that come forward, and Fraser Capital's here tonight, can talk to you about any of the questions that you might have in particular on it. But as you might recall, this development PID included the commercial tracks on the front were included in the PID boundary, but they were never really going to be assessed as is typical. But Fraser Capital is now under contract to sell the front commercial tracks, and that particular buyer does not want to have any ties to the pit at all. So the easiest way, I believe, their counsel will tell you that if you have more questions, is to dissolve it and then come back with it. There were also some additional costs that came about as they got more down in development with the lift station that's going in there. And then some other estimated costs on some of the other developer agreement agreed to elements were added to it. So dissolving it to start with. And then they'll be back up to ask for a public, to take a public, schedule a public meeting to hold another PID hearing. But number 4 was actually Bridges 1B, wasn't
Last meeting.
it?
That was for the terms.
This was just
Those are
to
PIDs.
dissolve the
For
PID,
PID.
but
Dissolve.
then afterward, we're gonna accept a new petition because we're
Correct.
dissolving it. I'm gonna
And
make sure they
establish the-
understood.
It was on number 13 last agenda item, or last meeting that we couldn't hold.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
Yes, you're correct.
I got confused too, that's why I brought it up.
That's good news to hear commercial moving in the front.
Well, it's always been zoned that way in the PD. It's just that now if you have someone buying it, hopefully they're not going to invest in. Obviously, the main road in, it's going to serve that commercial, is going to be going in as well.
And that's the one off of 121, I just want to make sure.
Yes, sir. And
So if
then-
we dissolve their PID, then never mind. I'll ask questions on another thing.
Okay.
Well, I think it's great, so I'll make a motion to go ahead and act upon the resolution to dissolve Gunter 66 PID.
Okay, Alan first, Pat the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll say aye.
Okay. Really?
Aye.
Okay, so that passes unanimously. Move to number 5.
I did actually give its PID, so I could make the announcement of the resolution.
Okay, that's right.
It's 2026-05-07-1.
Thank you. Number 5 is to act upon a resolution to accept the petition for the new bid.
And that resolution is in your packets.
So no, that's not, I just want to ask for me and the public, that's not changing the development agreement, that's not, it's just the PID, whatever, the streets. Because I know that this is a sensitive subject, because there happens to be a batch plant out there.
Temporary.
Yes, temporary. But is that part of this PID?
Is what part of the bid?
The
PID,
temporary batch plant?
in the DA and in the PID documents, it says, it gives generalities of where the funds can be used for, being sewer, water, drainage,
Yeah.
and pavement, street pavement.
So what I
And
guess
show
is-
fences.
The PID won't change the DA.
that's what I'm wondering.
No,
So
because the verbiage in the DA talks about the PID and the max amount that you can go for and percentages.
and like Alan, I think you just answered it. It's not changing it to where they're gonna now say, oh, we wanna throw this in here as well, like a temporary batch plant. 'Cause I
No,
was
we're not going back to the
aware of that.
DA. The DA and the
Okay.
resolution to establish the PIDs are totally different tracks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
That's
wanted
the
to
way
make
I
sure.
understand it as well, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking the question.
I understand it that way too, but
So-
some people email me don't.
Hopefully that explained it. If it did,
Yeah.
we can always talk more.
Okay.
And then there's another one in relation to Gunter 66 as well.
Well, do we have a motion to accept the new petition?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the resolution, accepting the new petition to create the Gunter 66 PID improvement district and setting a public hearing.
Okay, we got Jerry for the first.
I'll second. Just
Alan,
tie into
second.
it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries 5-0.
And the resolution number is 2026-05-07-2.
Thank you. Number 6, discuss and consider an act on granting Wesleyan Stud the wastewater and water easement at 19047 Farm FM 121.
So this is better known as the fire station property that's across from the bridges on 121 in front of the water treatment plant. What this is doing is creating 2 easements that are necessary because of the force mains that went in, and I guess this happened during the process of transitioning it from City of Gunter to Mustang, because they said it was in before they took over. So it's going across city property, so it didn't have an easement. But now it's not our system, so it needs an easement. So the first one covers the wastewater main that's towards the front of the property, and then turns north because there's a water main that then goes to the back of the property into the water treatment plant.
Can I ask a question, Eric, before you finish, or do you want to finish first before I ask?
Well, I guess the other one's a different item, so you can go with this one. I'll probably answer your questions on this.
So, the way that you explained it says that Mustang said it was already there?
Yeah,
Can you
well,
elaborate a little bit more?
from the background on it is, I didn't know that there was any lines through there at the point in time when Fraser Capital started on Gunter 66 and was doing their feasibility study with Mustang Sud, and going through their designs and such. Then someone said, "Hey, we need an easement across your property for a water line that needs to go in." I'm like, "Okay, give it to me and we'll take it to council, whatever." Well, then in the process of working through that with one of the engineering consultants for Fraser, we found out that the main is already there. The lines are already there. There's just no easements. So in conversations in our relationship building with Mustang Sud, we were just like, it's cleanup. We need to have easements at this point in time. Because, we had them stake out the water line actually, because I didn't trust kind of where it was. It's kind of a little bit further in than off the right of way directly, because normally you'll have right of way and then a 20-foot water line easement. Well, this thing's kind of pushed into our site, and while I've never done a concept layout on that, it didn't help that that went in where it went in my opinion, for our future development. But
So we're granting easement on an existing.
3 easements on our property on existing infrastructure that doesn't currently have and should.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the backstory behind it.
And they're in a nutshell.
You say
It's kind of
water,
what it
that's
is.
word around here, so.
So yeah, that's that and item. Well,
Seven.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to pass just number 6.
A second.
Okay, Greg with the first, Pat with the second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous.
And then we have to do the same thing for number 7 as
For
well.
number 7?
And this one includes, you've seen the gravel driveway that's there that serves the property in the back. So we had to create an access easement to be technically sound on it too. The only easement that was ever there was the Encore easement.
Yeah.
So.
I'll make a motion to grant the easement on the second one.
Okay, Jerry with the first,
Second.
the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Number 8, discuss, consider and act on the memorandum of understanding between City of Gunter and Fraser Capital regarding the public infrastructure improvements. So we explained that.
Yeah, so what we're looking here is they can tell as they're projecting down their construction and some of the shipping and distribution delays and stuff have caused some issue with the timing on getting the lift station done. And then they're also working with FEMA because there's floodplain reclamation that's going on in there. So many times when a developer gets to a point, and also they don't know if we get to a point where we have enough public improvements in to approve the development, they still might have a few lots that have not technically been taken out of the floodplain. And in the DA, it talks to that a little bit, that we would release other permits, but definitely not ones on the floodplain until that changed through their FEMA studies. And because of the lift station slope potential not being in there, they want to make sure that it's okay with the city that they do a pump and haul for maybe a couple model homes for a temporary time until they get the lift station completed and not hold them up on those. I don't know that they've ever done pump and haul here. I've done it in other cities before. It's not the best, but they have the TCEQ, permission, I think, and there's different things on how they can pump it. And obviously, Mustang Sud's probably going to know about it because they got to put it somewhere.
So what is your recommendation on the impact of allowing a pump and haul? What is that going to do to the city? What are we going to see?
Or we're going to see another truck there once or twice a week, maybe once a week. I don't know really. I've never researched them too much yet. I've talked to Jenny, our city engineer, about it. She's had it happen before. It's more of a, to my mind, it's not, they have to make sure it can handle it, right? But how many trips? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that many. Cleveland, you have any statement here, man? I don't know about your poop hauling. So, but I mean, it's not going to be, it's. I don't know for sure. We'll find out, but I don't think it's any more than like a, probably not as often as a porta potty on work sites that you're seeing coming into the bridges 2A right now.
Okay.
Is it basically the same equivalent of like we have septic systems, having to have our septic systems pumped and hauled off? Is it air?
You want me to jump in?
Please, because I'm swallowing my.
Sarah Lynn,
The attorney for Fraser. Good question on the number of trucks. It depends on the size. We're usually looking at 7,000 gallons. For the number of homes that they would want an early release for, you're looking at about once a week. And it wouldn't be going from home to home like with a septic system. They go to an existing area, existing manhole. It would probably be where the lift station is going in. So you wouldn't see them driving throughout the community, plugging into each house and each toilet. It's just they go to where the infrastructure is, and then they'll be leaving to go to North Texas to drop it off. One other addition, this is the developer's expense. A lot of cities actually will fund this. If things like that happen, obviously that wouldn't happen here. Maybe Mustang would, but I doubt it. So this shouldn't cost the city any money, and you shouldn't notice anything like, massive trucks driving around throughout the infrastructure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah.
And even though there are some early releases, we still have plenty of leverage on the, stopping permits or inspections and stuff if anything becomes an issue in the construction of it.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
We first approve, have a second on there.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm not in favor, I have questions.
Okay.
No.
So, the first question is, why are we doing this as an MOU instead of an addendum to the development agreement?
Well, because it wasn't strict developer agreement type stuff. They didn't know that they would probably have to do a pump and haul beforehand. And the FEMA stuff, you probably wouldn't even necessarily know about. We would have just had we'd hold on to their plat or their building permits. So they would be more transparent. So that's why they're adding this into the memorandum of understanding, that we don't just wait for these other somewhat solvable but further out there issues on getting the developments, the houses started. You got plenty of time for those things to get taken care of and hold permits from them if you want to. And they just, so they're basically want to be more transparent, I think, is the main thing for the memorandum of understanding. But
Well, transparency is great, but a memorandum of understanding is not a contract, and it doesn't have the ability to change the development agreement.
no, it's
This
not.
particular MOU has a lot of shallows in it. And the second thing is, this is a really touchy subject with a lot of people in town, this temporary batch plant, that's not allowed in the development agreement. Why is it here in the MOU?
It is
The
a
batch
developer
plant is part of the development agreement.
Then why is it in the MOU if it's already in the development agreement?
It was to establish the location. You'll see the exhibit in there to show exactly where it is and see the parameters. As to why the pump and haul was not addressed in the development agreement, those are typically to establish standards that would vary from city regulations. There's no city regulation prohibiting pump and haul. So we don't need to seek a variance there. There's not zoning standards that pertain to pump and haul. This is just more to set out an understanding so when the developer comes to pull permits, there's no confusion. There's not anything that is established in city regulation that is prohibiting what's happened, so there's really no means to go forward with either a Chapter 212 or other type of development agreement.
So the temporary batch plan is part of this MOU?
No, it's part of the developer
It was
agreement.
approved in the first amendment to developer agreement, but I think
Y'all
I put
approved
it
that
back.
in November.
I know, I was not made aware of the temporary batch plan.
It was in the amendment, though. That was on the amendment.
Lots of
Jerry.
meetings.
Jerry first, William seconded, and it was unanimous that y'all approved it.
So your concern is the shalls? She clearly stated that it's not gonna cost the city anything, and so
Well, MOUs are.
that would be one thing that you could nail down, is that this pump and haul is going to be at their expense. And I would not have a problem with it.
And it's not permanent, it's.
My vote still stands.
It's very temporary, and I'll assure you, with the cost that's associated with it,
Oh,
no
I-
developer wants to do it. We'll do anything we can to avoid that.
And this is due to delays in acquiring the equipment to finish your
The lift station.
lift station. Makes sense to me.
Which we were talking about utilizing, we were talking property, so.
Okay, so I had a first to approve with Wade and Pat seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
4-1, that motion carries. Number 9, discuss, consider, and act upon approving an ILA with Grayson County Precinct Number 3. These are for the improvements on Hunter Road and Kimberlin Road in the amount of $25,560. We talked about this maybe 9 months or so ago. We talked about how fire said it was probably the priority, need to be done. We've already put it in the budget, so this is the ILA for that project.
If I remember right, it was mostly just running a motor grader down there to try to keep things from becoming out of hand.
Maintain it before it gets worse.
Yes, maintain it before it becomes a rebuild, and
Be more money than.
we had one of the property owners come and actually ask us about
Yeah, there
this.
was somebody that did.
Yeah. And that was, Adam, I believe, went out there and drove out there the next day
Yeah, that's why Adam drives a different vehicle, because he lost the last one.
Yeah.
on that rut, right?
Yes. So, I'll go ahead and take the motion to go ahead and approve the ILA with precinct 3 for the Hunter Road and Kimberlin Road in the amount of $25,560.
Okay, it's got Alan with the first, Jerry with the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is that a yay or an abstain?
We like potholes too.
4, 1 abstain. All right, number 10, discuss, consider, and act upon authorizing staff to move forward on a previously budgeted vehicle through D&M leasing to be used for code compliance, animal control, fire inspector, and fire investigator. It's one vehicle. Jesse's in all 4 of those roles, and it's in the budget already. Cameron wanted to make sure that y'all are aware of it, what we were using it for, so that you had your stamp of approval.
What was the budget amount on this one?
He didn't tell me on this one. It's you, or I thought you stepped out. So
No, you're good.
Okay.
I'm being Rosa at the same time.
You're back.
Budget amount was actually at $2,000 a month. This is actually less than that, as it relates to the money associated with that.
How much was the total for like the vehicle outfitting and all that stuff?
That one is right about 90-ish.
Yeah, it was 91,173.
That was close to see.
For vehicle and outfitting?
Yeah, the whole outfitting, the whole shebang. And that's to potentially transport animals, to any other variety of components associated with code enforcement, to fire investigation, or fire inspection.
So this is a big truck. It's a 4-wheel drive. It has a crew cab and a camper. Is it necessary for these things?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
My next door neighbor,
Animal control.
Absolutely.
It's carrying the gears cash of every single job that I just told you about. So all in one vehicle.
Well, there's a $25,000 line item for something called a Halos. What is that?
That's the company doing the upgrade to the original chassis of the vehicle. That includes the lighting, the radio console install, all the various components that cause that vehicle to be able to operate different than a standard vehicle on the road.
That's the outfitter.
back door.
And the modulation
The
of
company
the back of the truck.
That's correct.
And what all is this truck gonna do?
Hopefully
Animal
they'll catch
control,
all
code
the-
compliance, fire inspector, and fire investigator.
It's going to be used for all of those purposes.
Not just one, but all. So it's
Used by
for
multiple people.
Well, I it's
Four
doing a lot of
Jesse
work.
holds all
It
those
sounds like it needs
certifications.
this seems like a really big, expensive truck to go drive around and look at things.
It has a lot more involvement than just driving around and looking at things, performing a lot of
Such
duties.
as?
Huh?
Such as?
Such as digging out a fire on a fire scene, using shovels that are exposed to IDLH environments
I thought it was
to
inspection.
You do have to move,
Fire
you do have to
investigator.
move debris when you're investigating fire.
Do we have a fire investigator?
We
That's
do, I
correct.
just said that
Yes.
Jesse has all those
to
licenses.
potentially having to pick up injured animals to any number of circumstances at the initial level, right?
So while she's out there with code compliance, if there's a fire inspector needed, then there you go.
Yeah,
She goes
she's
from
wearing
there to
four
another
hats.
job.
If there's a
Doesn't have
tortoise
to come
running
back
down
here.
Reed Lane, she's gonna know what it's
Yeah,
called.
she doesn't have to come back here, switch out cars and get back into that. what was
I
it,
can't say anything
auto?
about reptiles, so.
So it's all of it for that person, whoever it may be, or it is. And it's been in the budget.
Yes, this is everything we discussed before.
Yeah.
Come pick up.
Actually, it's more than what we
See you
discussed
on
before, to be
your
honest with you.
Yeah, I thought it was more
It's a lot more.
and it came.
Any questions?
I'll make a motion to authorize the move forward with the previous budget, vehicle convenience leasing, code compliance, animal control, fire inspection, and fire investigator.
Okay,
second
Jerry
that.
first, Pat with the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
41, that motion carries. Number 11, discuss, consider, and act upon approving City of Gunter's 2024-2025 audit. We've already done the presentation, so unless y'all have questions, I'd like to take a vote.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Pat with the first, Wade with the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah, I don't like the language. We don't have the authority to approve it. We don't have the authority to disapprove it. We can accept it.
Okay,
Okay.
make a
Step
motion
is
to accept
To accept.
the budget.
And I wish you would let us talk before you rush into a vote, Madam Mayor.
Well, what do you want to talk about, William? Talk. You missed the last meeting, we did a whole presentation.
don't
If you
start
want to
that.
talk, and look, if you want to talk, just ask.
No, just don't rush. What's next?
I need a vote.
So,
Well, you wanted to-
so to
you wanted to
restate,
talk.
so restate,
Patrick first.
am I able to approve this, or would you like to discuss, open it for discussion? Mr.
Just wanted
Williams?
to change the language,
Okay,
because we don't have the authority to approve it or disapprove it.
agreed.
Accept it.
I make a motion to accept agenda item number 11.
Pat with the first to accept, Wade with the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries 5-0. Discuss, consider, and act upon a resolution approving a funding agreement between the City of Gunter, MDD, in the amount of $138,000 for reimbursement to city's expenditures for Phase 1 master
This needs to
grants.
be
Done.
tabled.
Oh, because they didn't have their meeting.
They did not get to have their meeting.
Okay, so we're going to,
This will be actually be moved to June.
okay. So we just moved that.
Moved to June.
So table until June?
Yes.
Okay, we don't even have to vote on that, we can't take action on it, so we'll wait on that one. That means number 13 goes with it.
That is correct.
Okay. Number 14, discuss, consider, act upon accepting resignation from Christina Zelinsky from Gunner MDD Place 4. She's a busy girl.
Make a motion to approve.
Wade with first.
She did a great job on there, so.
She did.
I second.
Pat with the second, all in favor?
I guess.
Any opposed? No. You don't want to, but we need to.
That's
Right,
what
that
I
motion
guess.
carries 5-0. Yes, we thank her for her service. Discuss, consider, and act upon accepting resignation from Ken Boyd from PNZ Place 3. Also did a fantastic job
He's
and
been on there for a while,
long
so
time.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Wade with the first to approve.
Second.
Wade with a second. All in favor?
I guess.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. 16, discuss, consider, and act upon appointments for Planning and Zoning Board vacancies. I cannot remember who did these interviews. Do one of you have your,
I don't have the notes from it.
I do.
your recommendations?
Their their recommendation was Brandy Mock for place 3 and Bradley Smith for place 6.
And they're both here tonight too.
And I actually put in there in y'all's notes that the ones that were on the interview board was Eric Wilhite, Jordan Wild, which is the chairman for the PNZ, Alderman Alan Richens, and Alderman Patrick Pontian.
When did this board get put together?
The interview?
The interview was like a month
No,
ago.
Who formed the interview board? When did it get made? Interview board.
As long as I've been here. That's how we've done it.
You mean it was two people that got to interview, just like I think two of us have
Yes.
gotten to interview.
Correct.
But when did we know this needed to be formed, and who put it together, and who decided it was gonna be these people, and who?
I want to say that there was
There was a
two
text.
meetings or something ago that,
I was confused of your language. You're saying when did
He's saying-
PNC
when did
become
we
a
know?
board, or
No, when did we know that they were going to have an interview?
When did we request for applicants to be
Yes.
interviewed?
When did we request to have
Well,
applicants?
when did we even know we had applicants, and when did we put I'll call it a committee instead of a board, if that's.
There was a text message that was sent out asking everybody,
I thought there was also an email.
well, I know there was a text, I remember
Yeah.
more, but
I
I know there
received
was
an
a
email.
text asking who would be available to do the interviews.
Pat and I stepped up to do the interview process with Jordan and Eric.
Yeah, we did, because we said we
So
could
we're
be there.
conducting
Right.
city business through emails instead of doing it here?
No,
in the
because
meeting?
Eric stood at the podium for 2 meetings saying that he was down
Yes.
2 people.
Yes.
And did we publicly put that out there for other citizens to put in?
Yes, I can tell you how they find out.
Actually, one of the new board members could actually
We
explain that to you.
For them, we've talked to them before, and they've been active, and they, one's particularly new to the community, but we've already met, met with us when he was thinking about moving his business here, so it's kind of like an economic development.
Yeah.
We thought, so, but when people ask, hey, I'm in the community or whatever, I'd like to be able to figure out what can help. I mean, you know where I go first. Go fill out an application, go on the board, this board, that board.
That's great. Is there anyone else that was interested?
Well, would they have not filled out an application if they were? And I don't think we have any other ones at this point.
I mean, you're able to fill out an application at any
At
time.
any time.
And we keep them in
Well, the
So
people
we
aren't
already
gonna
had-
fill out an application if they don't know there's a vacancy.
If they want to be involved, they could ask a question.
That's true.
So now there is an opening on the MDD as of tonight.
Two, I think.
Well, what
An
MDD
additional.
well, now we have an opening in Kansas on P&Z too, right?
P&Z. Yeah.
So we can make, probably an announcement right now. You want to apply for P&Z? Well, then,
But you had three that applied, and these are the two that you
Okay.
chose, so your board would be full if they approved these.
So due diligence for stuff.
So, I have no questions.
So I make a motion to appoint the two new members to P and Z and then Randy Mott, Bradley Smith, and welcome aboard. Good luck.
So I'll second.
Alan with the first, Jerry with the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll vote yes for Bradley Smith, but I'll vote no for Brandy Mock.
okay. And teacher, could they be active on our 21st meeting then? Correct?
I'm sorry, on Friday.
They can be active on our coming up P&Z meeting on the
Yes.
21st, correct?
Yes. I'll contact them
And
tomorrow.
you're putting in work that fast.
We actually, the project's coming forward, they're exciting us too. It's more
For
fun.
the NFL.
Teacher, 5-0, and then 4-1, did you get that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Number 17, discuss, consider, and act on determining agenda items to be placed on future agendas.
I do. There was 5 items that did not carry over from the last meeting that did not take place. Are those still in need, like the TERS?
Yes, they're coming back on the next one.
Okay, so those are,
We worked all their schedule, their bond schedules and all those types of things.
okay, so that's good. And then, discussion regarding the speed limit changes within the city limits and more specifically residential areas. That is definitely one I'd like to put on there.
We made a decision to move that,
I think
Needed
it's,
some
staff was gonna work on it, I think for like 3 months or something.
no, I had on there June. on
June,
my
okay,
package.
that's what I thought, I think we pushed it because staff
Gathering data,
requested.
so we put up the speed things to get
Yes.
stats and data, so.
Because that is one that, sorry
It's
to
in
interrupt
progress,
you, that
yeah.
a citizen literally came up here to address, so I want to make sure that that's back
Yes.
on there. And then, discuss, or the other one was the city administrator, manager job description, authorizing staff to move forward on advertising it.
We are
Which
gonna
right now,
actually
to be put
talk
back
about
on.
that, because I need y'all to, we put together a timeline. Danny has a real quick presentation, just to kind of, so that everybody knows
This
this.
meeting, correct? Could that been, could have that been on this meeting?
Yeah, couldn't have been on this one.
Well,
Well, we need
no,
to-
because we had to put together
You want it or
time. It'll make sense when he shares his, and then Cameron has a
So
portion.
we can't discuss that now.
We have to be careful, we can't discuss it, but he's gonna explain, because everybody's curious, what happens with the manager form of government, what are the timelines, all the budget, the tax, all the things we're working on, now overlay, and it's a little bit confusing, it's all based on a very specific range of, top box.
I don't want to learn this on Facebook.
And that's why we're talking
Can we
about
schedule a
this.
special meeting?
Go ahead.
We'll have to schedule one for sure.
Well, the main thing is we just need the job description and the thing put out there,
Yep.
right?
We need to send
Got
it
everything
on
ready to
the
go.
application.
We're-
Yeah, send one that and then post it, because we have now 60 days,
Well, less than that.
less than 60 days.
This is not an email, it's not a text, you guys.
Yeah, from the day of the election, correct?
July 2nd.
Holy crap.
So,
No reading glasses necessary.
Yeah,
No.
No.
thank goodness. All right, what you have in front of you is kind of was a timeline, and also a Gantt chart of the budget process and how we're going to proceed going through. And this gets us within the date that we have to have the budget turned in September 29 and all. So first thing we're going to look at, if you look, we kicked off the process on March 30th. We had staff training. We looked at our fund view and got into it a little bit, understanding how to go in and address budget items. May 15th, the department budgets are due to me, and we're going to sit down and start looking through those and begin looking at the things that we need to look at, both from an operations standpoint, but also anything that we see that may need to be in the future there. So they'll bring those lists to me. May 18th through the 22nd, we'll continue to have our budget meetings with the directors and the leadership, and then we'll do some more project reviews throughout June. And then June 20th, mark that on your calendars, council summer work session. So this is where we'll have our work session and begin showing you guys our budget for next year, as well as having some discussion on what this council sees the vision being. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
The question is when are we putting a resume job description
That's
out there?
coming next.
No.
Cameron has that one.
No.
We're gonna let Danny finish budget.
I mean, I like the timeline. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Yeah, that's the,
Putting that
quite
out
honestly,
there.
that's the challenge I have, is trying to get this budget process going through, and you guys hiring a city manager in the process as well. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. But I mean, my goal is to make sure that we give you the tools to look at a budget and to plan the future for this town. I'm trying to get everything in as possible, as quick as possible. Talk to department heads, they'll tell you, you know, I'm asking for budgets and numbers, and we constantly have daily talks on that stuff. So I've been very busy with that. Staff has really been doing really well on several things they're working on. I'll just side note here and let citizens know that we've got good staff here. They're working their tails off to do some things. You know, I'm glad the election's over with, just bluntly, because there's several in our staff that have been stressed out over this, and it's creating an issue where we can't focus on things. So my job is to bring us all back together, get the budget done, resolve the issues with the city as far as what we need to do for you guys. But it has affected the staff, so just let everybody know that. But they're good people. Their desire is to do nothing but do what's best for Gunter. I've been around the block long enough. I see that. I know that. We've got good people here. So I feel confident in the process to deliver to the council here, at least within the 60 days here, hopefully groundwork for the budget, and then, you know, we'll see what happens after that.
Thank you, Danny. Cameron?
Yes.
This is our timeline for
So-
the manager change.
So, good visuals here for each one. The front is a timeline. The back is a Gantt chart with the same information. So, depending on how you operate visually, the intent was to allow the opportunity to look through that and make sure staff is meeting the expectations of council. So it's very much our goal. Congratulations, Councilman Stevens, for the election this weekend, and congratulations to those involved in Prop A. We recognize where we're at as a staff. We're committed to make the 60-day cycle happen, as I believe is the case for everybody that's up here today. So what you see outlined on here is our plan to make that happen, as long as it fulfills y'all's desires in the way that we're going about accomplishing that in that 60-day window. So this was our first attempt, right? Y'all obviously have the ultimate trump card in that process, but this is what we understood y'all wanted us to make happen in a 60-day window, and I'm just going to walk you through it real quick. Does that work? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the proposition obviously passed on May 2nd. Today's May 7th, which is where we're presenting this plan. On March 13th, after the canvassing, we intend to post the current job description for city administrator. City manager. Sorry, city manager. I'll get there. My apologies, city manager. So on May 21st, part of what y'all have to do as part of Prop A is identify what the salary is going to be, or salary range associated with that position. So we're initially going to go ahead and post the position, it's our intent to, with a caveat on the top that says the final salary range will be updated on this posting. That way we started that plan, that 14-day window of having that job position opening and posted, okay? So that'll get updated after y'all tell us what it is on May 21st. So that'll be on the agenda for May 21st. The job posting we intend to close on May 27th, which is 14 days, okay? During that time frame between the 27th and the 1st, y'all will have the opportunity to review those applications as a council, okay? So let's just say hypothetically we got 25 applications for the position, okay? That's the time frame that we're setting aside for y'all to review those applications, to narrow the scope of those applications, to get down to basically 3 to 5. That's what our hope is, okay? So I would anticipate the possibility of a meeting on June 1st if y'all are going to want to roundtable that as a group and talk about it. We're going to ask you to have a special meeting on that day so you can finalize if you're not able to do that in some other format prior to that, okay? Following that, on June 2nd, we will immediately notify those 3 to 5 applicants that they've been selected to move forward in the process, okay? We're leaving a window there from the 2nd to the 18th to allow a time frame for those applicants to make plans for what they're going to do to get here, to be able to go through that interview process with y'all on the 18th. I would highly encourage you, that's your second June meeting already in that evening, so but we're trying to set it up where we're not calling you into too many extra days. So plan on that being an all-day, start early, probably noonish if we were to guesstimate, depending on the number of applicants that y'all push forward. That said, prior to that meeting, you're going to want to derive what y'all want to interview them with question-wise and how y'all want to see that process go. So we're leaving that up to y'all to tell us how you want us to write down what questions or what process, that type of stuff, so we can make sure we have all that put together for y'all going into that deal. During that time frame, we will also be researching all the candidates, the 3 to 5 candidates in the background to make sure we're giving you as much proactive data that you would like to see associated with each of those applicants before they come in here for an interview process. Okay? So those interviews will be on the 18th. In the ideal world, y'all would be able to make a recommendation to us for your top 3 candidates in order so that we can begin that process with them. Obviously, candidate 1 would ideally receive a conditional offer on the following day, which you see there on July 19th, the way it's outlined here. The reason you see June 19th on there is because we're trying to facilitate at least a minimum of a 2-week window for that person to potentially give 2 weeks notice to their current employer if that were the dynamics associated with that. Traditionally, in a role like this, that's usually at least a 30-day window. We're on a 60-day clock. So we're trying to get y'all exactly what you want in this window. So that would put a date of hire, a start date on July 2nd. The following day is a city holiday on July 3rd. And the following day is obviously the 250th here in over at the park. Okay. So this is our first jab at making the 60-day work. We're here to adapt as y'all desire us to, as your staff, to make this happen in any other ways that you need adjusted. But this was hopefully the good first snapshot to get your timeline to make that happen.
Awesome. Thank you for your work.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you.
very welcome.
I got your back.
Good. Questions?
The only thing I'd like to say, not related to this, is just good luck to all the Gunter Tigers that are out in the playoffs for GYA baseball. Good luck to all the the high school athletes that are in the playoffs as well as the track that's continuing to move on toward state. Wish them all the best of luck.
And I'd like to say thank you to Jerry for stepping up and being a part of the process. I'm not going to miss you. I'll see you around town. I'll see you around town.
Yep. All right, well, we will adjourn this meeting at 8:20.
Yeah.